It kind of felt like my early 20s, I was waking up to the person who I was. Oh, I need to change the world. I need to read this book and learn things to impress other people because if I don't do it, then I have a moral responsibility that I'll be otherwise dismissing irresponsibly. And then I just kind of have come to the conclusion that I don't know, this could be like a hypersensitivity thing, like an HSP thing, but realizing that changing other people's minds takes a lot of work, and usually like all you learn from a conversation like that is it was probably better not to open your mouth anyway. Just considering that kind of feeling, I found a lot more peace with myself, just like finding time to live in a quiet moment by yourself, doing nothing, putting no pressure on yourself. Like recently, my mom's place got flooded in the basement. There was this big flood in Wisconsin, and my dad had to call me to inform me about the destruction of all of my childhood belongings, or like a good portion of them. And so we were on the phone, and he's opening up my old sketchbooks, like these very intricate drawings that I used to make because I was very obsessed. And it was like very painful to see a lot of the things I had made with a lot of love growing up destroyed. And at that time, I also recognized, wow, when I was in my late teens and early 20s, I was like, I am going to change the world. Everything is going to be mine. I'm going to make a difference. And it was a very like naive kind of challenging corruption sort of youthful attitude that I don't think I was wrong for having. But like the fatigue you get from just, doing the same life thing every day. I've personally arrived at this state where I'm still gonna, I guess, make art and do these little videos to entertain people because it feels like my calling. But there was like a much more emphasis on like the other people need to be changed. I have to get inside their heads and understand their own psychology and make them understand something, even though I probably didn't understand that very thing myself. And now, my age, late 20s, it doesn't really feel the same. Because even if I do change people's minds, I don't really get a satisfaction from feeling like I was right all along. This is why, like, I don't really talk about politics too much, at least right now. Like, I could change. But right now in life, it's very much a feeling of, tranquility. Who really cares as long as you feel just at peace with yourself? There's so much drama and stress and people in the world who want to tear you down. And I felt like, I don't know, I was caring about things that, like I said this to a friend of mine maybe a couple months ago. I'm like, I love so many people. I love my friends. I love the people at my work. I know I joke about hating people a lot because it's funny, but like, I was sincerely saying this to somebody, and they were like, "Tantris, you gotta be careful because just because you love other people doesn't mean they love you." And I'm like, "Damn, that kind of hits a little too close to home," because, yeah, it is the case that a lot of people they're not sensitive, they're not deep thinking people. I don't think that they lack human value, but you get trapped in your own head. You become somebody who it's easy to become someone who thinks everyone has the exact same mental process as yourself. And I fall into that quite a lot. I'm always assuming like, oh, other people are just as considerate as me. Or, I'm nervous about doing this particular activity because the consequences that I envision happening are just natural. Like, who wouldn't think that? And it turns out that I'm the only one who thinks that way. And there's like this contradiction I'm finding in myself where I'm like, I want to get out into the world and change people's minds. And then I realize like, I don't even know who I am sometimes. Like, what am I doing? I think we all kind of feel that way. And there's like a comfort in contradiction, I guess is what I'm trying to get at here. Is early 20s, a lot of my life I was like, I'm right, I have to be right. I have to understand this thing to, convince people of my opinion. And now I'm like, dude, I don't even know if I'm right. And I don't care if I'm right. I just like, I'm not in STEM. And that this whole world we're living in is, I don't know, you interpret it as you will, and maybe you'll get very good at convincing people. Maybe you should be a lawyer, but in my case, I'm like, the people who are right for me are going to appear in my life at the right time, and they're just going to get it. They're just going to get it. And if they don't get it, then they'll move on to somebody else who gets their world, or maybe nobody gets them. Maybe there's just nobody for them. In which case, that's a different lifestyle, I suppose. I'm always feeling that, at least recently, I've just been feeling that there's no real reason to stress so much about convincing other people of my perspective, because we're all full of contradictions anyway. And in Nietzsche's words, well, a lot of philosophy is just unconscious autobiography. And I feel too tired to really care about a Redditor or somebody who tell me I'm wrong, because by all means, I am wrong. By all means, all of these other people who have their own opinions and little nuanced perspectives, maybe they're wrong too. Maybe we're all wrong. And I think what I'm speaking to is, again, not that I'm right. I think a lot of people feel this way, where you're like, yeah, fuck it. Fuck it. World doesn't make sense. My opinions don't make sense. Nothing makes sense. What are we doing anyway? Who cares?